Hello and welcome to a Plus R May tutorial. This is aimed at beginner players trying to learn how to play May. And we take a look at basic vertical dolphin loops. This is part of May's bread and butter toolkit, and using overhead kiss as an easy to perform starter, so that way you don't have to worry about any force break dolphins or anything more advanced right now. So let's get into it. Our objectives is learning how to perform vertical dolphin loops overhead kiss. We're going to be looking at the nuances involved in each major step, learning how to diagnose mistakes. This is important when practicing, so instead of being like, I don't know what the issue is, at least have a much better idea of, hey, I recognize I'm getting the height too low, I'm not getting the timing right. So it's not just pressing buttons in a specific order. There's a lot of things you got to look for, a lot of timings. Then, providing additional options for exploration. This is getting beyond the scope of just beginner, but showing some of the things that are possible. So let's take a look at the recommended training mode setup if you're just starting out. So Testament is easy for May to combo. This is very convenient. You can practice a lot of different variations of combos, you get an idea of what right looks and feels like without as much difficulty as of other characters, and from there you can absolutely go to other characters that have different timings, some of them tighter timings. Yeah, Testament, great place to start. You want to make sure that your combos are airtight, that your opponent's not going to have an ability to tech out. And so using training mode and setting their recovery to front or back and then recovery from zero, make sure your combos are airtight. You can also, if you don't want to do that, look and see if your combo black beats. If your combo black beats, then it's not airtight. Oh, let's take a look at a demonstration. So here's a demonstration of what we're going to be working towards. Got ourselves overhead kiss into first loop and a second loop. Let's take a look at it again. So let's break down those major steps. We have the actual overhead kiss itself, then some form of spacing maneuver to make sure that our combo is even going to work. Then we have the first loop and an ending loop. There are ways to get more loops out of the combo, and then a lot of different intermediate you can do. But for now, for basic vertical dolphin loops, first loop and an ending loop. So what we saw on the previous slide was overhead kiss. The spacing maneuver was walking forward. Then we did the close slash 5H slash vertical dolphin as the first loop, using the slash vertical dolphin's properties of vacuuming an opponent back towards you, and then ending with 5P close slash heavy slash vertical dolphin to push them away and just try and secure knockdown. So let's take a look at the spacing maneuver. Spacing maneuver comes down to where on the screen are you landing overhead kiss. Mainly you can divide it into mid-screen or corner. There are some not quite corner where it gets a lot more finicky and really annoying. For now, mid-screen and corner is a good way to break it down. You have two main goals. That is getting in a close slash range. There is an option for if you get a far slash. However, that'll be covered in like the additional options at the end. Then making sure your slash vertical dolphin doesn't arc, and this is so getting close enough to get close slash, and then making sure your combo's still going to work. If you're mid-screen, you mostly just want to walk forward. Don't have to do it on all characters. Like Testament, you don't need to do it, but if it's against someone like Kai, you absolutely need to. And so if you're mid-screen, just walk forward. You're never wrong. If you're in the corner, because they're going to land further away from you, you need to close more distance, and to do that, you're going to dash forward and make sure you're holding forward at the end of that. Let's take a look at what this looks like. So here we are with mid-screen. We have the demo clip from before. I just cut out the ender so if we can hone in on that spacing maneuver. So take a look at how I'm already holding forward as I've got the overhead kiss. Like no reason to just not hold it there. And take a look at how that slash vertical dolphin, it's a straight line up to where it hits. Now let's take a look at what the corner looks like. So the main issue with the corner is that their opponent's going to land further from you, and so you got to close more distance in order to get in that close slash range. Take a look at how I'm buffering the dash just before I land. I want to land and already be dashing. And then I'm holding forward to make sure that I don't have some pause if I let go and then press close slash, that I'm not quite getting the distance I need. On Testament, this is pretty tight, but it's a thing to try and go for. So now we got the first loop. For now, I'm just going to do close slash 5H slash vertical dolphin. And so two concepts here. One of them is getting the height of that close slash hit correct. The ramifications of not getting that height correct mostly involves around the opponent being able to tech out, and that tech out can happen immediately after the close slash, or it can happen later in the combo. And we'll see what this looks like later. The other part of it is making sure you start the down charge after pressing 5H. If you press it too early, you're not going to get 5H, you're going to get 2H, you're going to whiff, and now you've dropped your combo. And so close slash 5H slash vertical dolphin it's not the easiest charge that's out there. It's also not one of the more difficult ones. So this is one of those, it's going to take some time to learn, but those are the two main things to keep in mind for this first loop. Height management comes down to the general rule of the lighter the character, the lower to the ground you want to hit that initial close slash. If they're heavier, you then want to hit them higher up. If you're too low, your opponent could just land at your feet and they got a knockdown, but you didn't get as much damage as you could have. And if they're too high, you're just going to revolve around teching out. Again, we'll take a look at later when that tech out happens can vary. Let's take a look at what these look like on different characters. So here we have a lightweight, in this case Dizzy. Look how low to the ground we're hitting her. One more time. So here is Eddie, a middleweight. Look how much higher we're hitting him compared to Dizzy. One more time. So now we have Johnny, who is a heavyweight. You haven't hit him even higher than Eddie. Alright, one more time. So now we've hit that first loop, let's get into that ending loop. Your main goal is securing knockdown. Sometimes, depending on what ender you go for, you may not get the knockdown, but by using heavy slash vertical dolphin, you at least push your opponent away, so that if they do tech out, they're not just on top of you and now you're in this scramble situation you may or may not be ready for. So by push them away, they tech out, you've got a bit more time to react to see what they're going to do. So the 3 here, 5P close slash heavy slash vertical dolphin, 2P heavy slash vertical dolphin, and 5P heavy slash vertical dolphin. These are like the core 3 enders you want to have on deck. 5P close slash is the one I've been showing this entire time, however, it can be a pretty difficult charge. 2P and 5P and heavy slash vertical dolphin are much easier to perform. 5P close heavy slash vertical dolphin. This charge is pretty tight. So you can get a bit more damage than with the other two that was shown on the previous slide, but it's not always going to knock down lightweights, and this is highly unfortunate. So here we have a situation where 5P close heavy slash vertical dolphin doesn't knock down Cliff, who is a lightweight. However, look at how much distance he is away from us when he techs out. He still has options to approach and attack us and retaliate, but we have more time to react to whatever option they may or may not go for. So 2P and 5P heavy slash vertical dolphin, these are better at knocking down lightweights than the 5P close slash heavy slash vertical dolphin, and they're a lot easier to perform because you're pre-charging. You can, as you're hitting that slash vertical dolphin in the first loop, you can already start your down charge, and then as you're getting ready to press up or flicking your stick up, that's when you press punch to either get 2P or 5P depending on the timing. Let's take a look at what these look like. So here we have the 2P into heavy slash vertical dolphin. Take a look at how I'm throwing the slash vertical dolphin and then immediately going into that down charge. One more time. So now we got the 5P heavy slash vertical dolphin. This one's very similar, it's just a little bit different timing than 2P. If you're flicking the stick up, you just gotta press punch a little bit later. If you're having like a button press to deal with, at least on hitbox, I had to make sure that there was a gap between the up and down, because it is possible for me to go straight from down to up on hitbox. One more time. So now we gotta look at diagnosing mistakes. As you're practicing these combos, I want to help hone down like what are the main issues that you're having. So we have pressing the Gatling too fast. So you press buttons, but only one of them comes out. Starting the downcharge too soon, and then you drop your combo as a result. Height issues, both too high and too low. And then some spacing issues. Take a look at pressing the Gatling too fast. In this case, I'm pressing close slash 5H. However, I pressed the H too soon, and now I'm only getting the close slash to come out, and I drop my combo, and now I got Potemkin like ready to probably buster me the moment they land. And so this is the only place that this can happen, say the 5P close slash. That could also be another place where the Gatling can be too fast. So if you know you're getting those button presses, but only one of them come out, try and slow down. Now let's take a look if you start the downcharge too soon. In this case, we get the Gatling timing correct. However, the downcharge too soon leads to a 2H instead of a 5H, and now the combo's dropped, and I've got Potemkin again, probably ready to bust for me at any time. This can also happen with the 5P close slash ender. You might get 5P and then into 2S, or maybe you just go straight into a 2P because you did it even earlier. So that's one of the things that can also happen. Height can be pretty funny. So like you might see them tech out the ramifications of height being wrong immediately, like here, or you might see it later. So take a look at how he techs out, and then if they're ready, they're just going to block that Dolphin if you went for it. So now we have a situation where they don't even tech out, they just get knocked down, but we're not able to get another loop and get more damage out of the combo. If you recognize you have a height issue, one of the options you have is to go for a heavy slash vertical Dolphin on that first loop to at least try and push them away to secure a good knockdown so you can do Okizeme. And so now we have where we end up mostly getting our combo, but the final close slash pushes them back instead of up, and we're not able to complete the combo. So this is just due to height being too low, and then the ramifications happened way later. One more time. So now we have the initial height too high, in this case on Milia. So it's simple, she just techs out early. So now we're going to take a look at where we get the height too high. In this case, Milia is able to tech out after the first loop. Again, you could go for heavy slash vertical Dolphin and at least push her away. Probably not going to knock down because it's Milia. But so another case of the effects of improper height not being immediate. So now let's take a look at a spacing error. And for this one in the next slide, I'm accomplishing this by not doing the walk forward. And so in this case, I'm getting the far slash. Now, if I know that far slash is coming, then I can go into the alternate option. However, at least for the loops that have been shown so far, this would be considered a spacing error. So now we have where we get the close slash, but look how the vertical Dolphin arcs over. Because it starts to arc over, we're not able to continue this combo. So that is one of the things you want to make sure you look for. So now let's take a look at some more things to explore, getting a bit more advanced. So we have a couple different starters let me take a look at. We have an alternate for first loop that, especially in the corner, if you keep getting that far slash, if you're ready for it, you can go for the far slash 6H. And then we got a couple different alternating loops, a lot more niche, but just showing some of the things that you can do. So 2D into a horizontal Dolphin force break is one of May's most common starters. This leads into vertical loops, this leads into corner loops. But it is a lot more difficult to perform than overhead kiss, and before I started getting consistent with this, I used overhead kiss to learn the vertical Dolphin loops. A note between this and overhead kiss will guarantee that the opponent will at least land in your feet if you do nothing. If in the case of the 2D horizontal dolphin force break, your opponent has the opportunity to tech out before they hit the ground. So especially on characters like Bike, where you have to hit lower to the ground, like they're not necessarily going to land, so that window becomes very tight to actually get the hit in. You either it's like you hit them it's a little too high, then they tech out, or you don't hit them, you wait too long, and then they tech out. So this is a lot more difficult than overhead kiss starter. Jackhound is pretty funny. You can get a knockdown with it and potentially relaunch if you get the Jackhound out. In this case, I'm doing a raw Jackhound. The spacing isn't quite where I want it to be, so I'm only doing just a first loop using the heavy slash vertical dolphin to get the knockdown. But yeah, you can do funny things with Jackhound. You don't necessarily want to do it raw, but if you say they're jumping up, you hit them with a vertical dolphin, and you knock them down, as you land, get that Jackhound down, you might be able to relaunch and start leading into at least a bit more damage. It is pretty finicky though. You're not necessarily going to have as higher consistency with being able to get loose before your opponent techs out as you will say overhead kiss. Now this is like a potential solution to you're in the corner and you're having trouble getting to that close slash range. And so you can do a far slash 6H slash vertical dolphin. Compared to close slash 5H, the Gatling timing, you have to delay your heavy slash button press a little bit. And you also have to make absolutely sure that you're holding forward so you get 6H. And then the spacing can be finicky. You may not be able to get the slash vertical dolphin. So you might have to get a heavy slash vertical dolphin, or spacing can be pretty finicky. Sometimes they tech out as you're throwing the 6H. But this is an option to explore. So now an ending loop. This one I know works on Dizzy. This one you get a bit more damage than you said, just the punch and heavy slash vertical dolphin, but it's also not hard to perform because you can take advantage of pre-charging. And if you don't, you can use the 2P and 2S. Gives you a lot more of a window to get that charge in. Doesn't work on all characters though. So this ender, it's pretty difficult. Like, you have that extra punch that throws off timing some, and then in this case it did the exact same amount of damage if we just did a single punch. There are some uses with adjusting high as kind of an intermediate and more advanced combo routing, but just something cool to show off. Right, so let's review our objectives. We learned how to perform vertical dolphin loops using overhead kiss. Learned nuances involved in each major step, the space control, the first loop, and the ending loop. And then went over how to diagnose mistakes. So that should cover most of the things that could probably happen. And we took a look at some additional options for exploration. Big thanks to Olive Oily. She spent a lot of time helping me learn Maybrain Butter. Now she's done that for other people as well. And just everyone in May Chat, like Aloysius, Watson, Phil, Kyle W, a lot of people, and more people there. A lot of good info, a lot of, we've gotten a lot better at this game thanks to everyone in May Chat and also a lot of other players. So this has been an Up Dolphin Spammer approved presentation. I hope you have a fantastic day.